In several of my videos, people have been complaining that the Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra is a little bit choppy, and I've actually had the same issue. Sometimes the image just looks a little bit choppy or a little bit more stuttery than it should. Why is that? Now, I've been dealing with this issue for many months and I finally figured it out. So look at these two clips here. The first clip you're going to see, there's just a little bit too much choppiness. It's at 4K 30 frames per second. I can even see it in Razer Synapse and OBS, got them both locked there. But it's just a little bit stuttery. Now, if you look at me right now, this is also 4K 30 frames per second, but it's a lot smoother. Why is that? Well, check this out. Now, this is the Razer Synapse software. I'm going to go ahead and activate this. This is a Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra. Now, as you can see, I have this set to 4K 30 frames per second, and also the shutter speed SS right here is 1/60. So it's double the frame rate, so there shouldn't be any issues. It should have natural looking motion blur. Through a lot of trial and error, I finally figured out what the issue is. If you go over to processing, it actually does not have anything to do with the frame rate or the shutter speed. And if you're in OBS, you actually have the option to set this to 4K 24 frames per second. And that's what it ends up actually putting out, because I actually went in DaVinci Resolve and I went frame by frame and I could actually see. But the issue here is actually this: in processing, lens distortion compensation. So what I assumed that this did was what it says it does, that fisheye effect, it reduces that. So especially if you look at like the door, you're going to see it's going to be like straight up and down with the lens distortion compensation on, instead of kind of bending a little bit, because this webcam's lens does just cause a little bit of that barrel effect. However, you'll notice it's just a little bit more choppy. It doesn't say that it does that here. Even if you hover over this question mark, it says automatically correct any distortions that occur. So I was like, okay, that's the lens distortion. Now, if I go ahead and turn this off, now you get a little bit more of that barrel effect, but it's way smoother. So I wish that was communicated in the software, or Razer said it or something like that. I actually had no idea that this was the specific issue. Honestly, the fisheye effect is really not strong enough to matter that much unless you're in a specific angle of the room, especially because the background blur and the bokeh is just so good. But that is the issue. I finally solved it. So if you have the same issue, then that's the setting that you need to change. Turn off the lens distortion compensation.